Jungkook's smile. Is there a wound Jimin hasn't healed? From the outside, BTS's Jungkook looks as strong and cheerful as ever. Her soothing and charismatic smile often manages to break the ice, captivating the hearts of millions of fans around the world. But lately, a question has been raised that stirs many hearts. Does Jungkook's smile really reflect his true feelings? Or, behind that smile, hidden a wound that never really healed, a wound that is closely related to Jimin, his closest friend and figure for many years. Jimin and Jungkook are known to have a very strong friendship bond since their debut with BTS. From the very beginning, the two were often seen together, supporting each other in rehearsals, concerts, and even behind the scenes. Jimin has always been a protective figure towards Jungkook, while Jungkook always looks calm and comfortable around Jimin. Not a few soldiers refer to their relationship as soul brothers because their closeness feels so sincere and deep. But since both were conscripted at different times and in different units, that dynamic began to change. The two are rarely seen interacting in person, and even at important moments, such as birthdays or official military events, they are not seen together as they used to be, some time ago. When Jungkook appeared in a short video from his military unit, many fans noticed that although he was smiling and talking excitedly, his gaze felt empty. It was as if something was stuck in his heart. The smile looked like a mask that hid a deep emotional burden. Meanwhile, Jimin, who is known for being expressive, seemed to stay away. In recent photos and footage from his military camp, he appears more reserved, often gazing into the distance and interacting less with his comrades. One of the staff who worked in the military environment even mentioned that Jimin spent more time alone, especially at nightfall. He was like someone who was missing something, or maybe someone, the staffer said. Rumors circulated among fans said that the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin had experienced emotional tension before both left for the army. Some said that there were personal moments that made Jimin feel disappointed or hurt, but could not be conveyed openly. Jungkook, on the other hand, felt guilty but was unable to rectify the situation due to the urgency of the situation and pressure from various directions, although none of this has yet been confirmed. Many army believe that there is some truth behind the change in the behavior of both. Especially in Jungkook's last interview before entering the military, he had mentioned someone he really missed but could not meet, someone very important in my life. I hope he knows that I'm waiting for him, Jungkook said, with a lowered gaze and a voice that almost trembled. Not only from body language, other cues can be seen from the songs they had sung. Jimin, in his solo song, Alone, conveys a feeling of loneliness and deep longing, while Jungkook in Hate You alludes to love and painful loss, but still leaves hope. Many fans believe that these lyrics are a reflection of the inner dynamics of both. That there is guilt, there is sacrifice, there are wounds that cannot be completely healed. Although they must still walk and live their respective lives, one of the most painful things in friendship is when two people who are so close have to move away from each other not by choice, but because of circumstances. That's probably what Jungkook and Jimin are going through. Jungkook, in an effort to keep smiling, is actually trying to bear the weight because he feels he is losing someone who has been an important part of his life. Meanwhile, Jimin, in his silence, may be harboring wounds that he has not yet had time to reveal. The breakup was not only physical, but also emotional. There are things that have not yet had time to talk about. There is a message that has not yet been delivered. And time goes on, taking both of them further and further away from those moments. Many soldiers still hope that when the conscription period ends, Jungkook and Jimin can sit together again, talk heart to heart, and heal the wounds that were left behind. That their friendship, built on blood, sweat, and tears, can still be reunited because the truth is, Jungkook's smile will feel intact only if the wound in Jimin's heart also heals. And the calm in Jimin's eyes will only return if Jungkook remains by his side, as he once was. For many ARMY members who have followed BTS since their debut, Jungkook and Jimin's closeness is an integral part of the group's journey. From training sessions in the cramped halls of trainee dormitories to international concerts in grand stadiums, they are always there for each other. Jimin was often the protector of Jungkook, who was still a teenager, from the pressures of the entertainment world. And instead, Jungkook made Jimin a refuge, someone who could make him feel safe and understood. But now, after all the maturity they've reached, and the distance between military duty and unstoppable time, the relationship is starting to feel different. Not lost, but changed. And change is not always easy to accept. In a video that went viral among fans, Jungkook was seen sitting still after the training session was over. The camera had captured the moment when he looked up at the twilight sky while holding something in his hand, which was later discovered to be a rubber band that had been made by Jimin himself many years ago. At first glance, he smiles. But a few seconds later, he lowered his head and wiped his eyes quickly. It was not a public moment. Not part of any official promotion or documentation. But precisely because of that, the moment felt most honest. It's like sending a message that can't be expressed in words. The story is further complicated by the news that Jimin once left a meeting without a word. Some sources said he was called to the training ground where Jungkook was, but left ahead of schedule without explaining the reason. Some say that it was because Jimin could not look directly into Jungkook's eyes. There are also those who suspect that the two had a disagreement, and the wounds from their separation have not yet had time to heal. Either because of a misunderstanding, a restrained word, or a decision that can no longer be changed. Clearly, Jungkook seems to be deeply affected by the quiet departure. From then on, he became more reserved in public interactions, focused more on training, and lived his day with an almost colorless expression. Those around him described him as always physically present, but his mind seems to be left somewhere else. They both once carved out a dream together, standing on stage, singing songs that strengthened the hearts of millions, and taking care of each other behind the scenes. But time, life, and military realities take them on a path that no longer goes hand in hand, not because they do not love each other, but because each of them must grow, have to deal with their own injuries. And sometimes, growth means letting the people we care about most take a different path, even when our hearts aren't ready to let go. Even though they are now so far apart, the one thing that keeps the army afloat is hope. Hope that after all this passes, there will be a meeting. Not on stage, not behind the camera, but in genuine silence, where Jungkook could look back at Jimin and say, "I miss you." And Jimin, who probably harbors the deepest wounds, will answer with a warm hug, as he used to. Not because they have to go back to the way they used to be, but because they are now more mature to accept each other, with all the wounds and imperfections. Behind Jungkook's smile, is there a wound Jimin hasn't healed? Perhaps the answer, yes. Maybe both of them are still walking with the same sore heart. But what sets them apart from other stories is the depth of love and friendship they once had, and that will never go away. They were once each other's home. And although the house is now being renovated by time, injuries, and the hustle and bustle of life, the foundation remains the same: honest affection. And when the time comes, perhaps they will again sit side by side. This time, not just to sing together, but to heal each other's wounds long left behind. Because behind all this, one thing remains eternal: Jungkook and Jimin, two names. A story that never really ends. Behind Jungkook's sweet smile and eager eyes, there may be hidden a longing that did not have time to be conveyed. And behind Jimin's silent gaze, there may be a wound that cannot be forgotten. Army can only hope hopefully one day, the two will be able to look at each other again, unharmed, without tears. Only laughter, friendship, and love are irreplaceable, because their story is not just about music and stage, but about two souls who complement each other, even in the midst of a changing world.